He's a jerk.
Huh?
He's a jerk. I can...
Hello, this is Dan Davis, Editor-in-Chief of the Fabricator magazine. I'm joined today by Pat Simon, our Director of Education and Membership at FMA.
Third time's a charm.
Yes, and we're here, if you've been tuned into the previous episodes, we're talking about the FMA Annual Meeting. And today we're going to speak about actual content at the meeting and some of the speakers. So pretty impressive headliner, I think, for this year.
Absolutely.
And I would like to try to say his name, Lourenco Goncalves of Cleveland Cliffs, president. Thank you very much. Thank you. He's actually going to provide the keynote address on the first day. That would be March 1st, Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
And lot happening in the steel industry, and Cleveland Cliffs has been one of the big movers making those changes. So
yeah, and aside from him speaking, he's also our award winner for our Association of Steel Distributors Steel Executive of the Year. So it's really a privilege to have him come live to our conference and present. This guy's got a lot of knowledge. Dan wrote a nice blog about what Cleveland Cliffs has done over the last couple of years in terms of just reshaping the steel industry. And of course, a lot of our attendees, a lot of our readers, a lot of our members are consumers of steel. And so it's just kind of a nice perspective for them to hear from the person, the people that they're buying their raw materials from, how that industry's changing, things that are happening within the U.S. where there's more steel being produced now in the U.S. maybe than there have been in recent years, and more capabilities, based on some of these acquisitions that they've taken on and things like that. So it's been, it'll be really, I think, educational for some of us because we're not maybe entrenched in the steel industry day in and day out, although we're around the metalworking industry. I think it'll be really great perspective, big name, and I think that's helping us drive some really good attendance so far too. So you're going to be able to see a lot of your associates down in Miami, where we're closing in on the 300 number for attendees, and we're really excited about that here with 3 weeks to go.
Yeah, and I just think from a newsmaker standpoint, they've gone from a simple mining iron ore provider to the steelmaking industry to the largest flat roll provider in North America in roughly 2 years. Right. And even this past year, they made a huge investment in a primary scrap company, which ties in with the whole electric arc furnace side of steelmaking. So Cleveland Cliffs is touching almost every important area of steelmaking, and I think his contributions and his comments be met with great interest, and I'm kind of looking forward to that. Yeah. But that's not all.
Right, and I think another great part about him speaking with us is it's going to be a casual sit down with our president and CEO, Ed Udell, and we've gotten probably 50 to 60 different questions from some of the councils that make up the FMA membership and volunteer committees. From different perspectives. So we have a lot of questions we're going to ask him, and if anyone's ever seen him speak before, he is not short on words, not short on opinions. You might hear some things you don't like, but we welcome that. We welcome those opinions, those views. We're not going to hold anything back, and I think it'll be great dialogue and conversation. So
yeah. Definitely a man who's made and led a company who's made a lot of smart decisions in recent years. So looking forward to that. But it doesn't end there. Second day, we have actually one of my favorite occupations, a futurist.
Yes, the global futurist for Ford Motor Company, Cheryl Connolly, will be joining us on day 2. So always great to get a company like Ford to participate.
Right.
As we know, so many of our job shops and members of the FMA supply parts and things to the automotive industry. So what a great way to hear about what is going on at Ford Motor Company. As we know, with all the EV things going on with electric vehicles, things are changing drastically in that market and in that world. So it'll be really interesting to hear what she has to say about how Ford is approaching that and some of the plans that are coming forward from them.
Yeah, and once again, in terms of newsworthiness, Ford just announced a partnership with Google as they're looking to rehab the old train station in Detroit. So if you live in Detroit area, you know the actual building that's been desolate, abandoned for at least 3 decades, I think. Wow. But Google's now coming in. I think Ford's had their eye on that for a while, but the more traditional automaking industry kind of joining hands with the high-tech Google folks. Just another example of the rapid change of pace and how it's affecting manufacturing in general, metal fabricating down the line. So I think it does well for us that we have 2 kind of headliners like this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that second day, we also feature a panel, North America panel, where we have representatives from Canada, U.S., and Mexico, just to talk about North America trade, things that are changing, how people are handling supply chain issues between the countries, and changes that have happened over the last couple of years in terms of trade between the countries and the competitiveness that we're seeing from Canada, Mexico, and the U.S., and how we work together, of course. So that's a great panel that we have on day 2 as well. And then we move into our Fabricating Forum, which is a little bit of a different spin. You know, Dan, you've been there every year. So, you know, we always have some of our platinum sponsors, which are a lot of our laser and press brake manufacturers, do presentations for us. And we've done it where we've done a panel, we've done it where we've done individual breakout sessions, and this year we're doing kind of a hybrid. So we're going to do a sit-down conversation with your colleague Tim Heston.
Correct, senior editor.
Is going to lead that discussion with all 5 of the major OEM suppliers on lasers and press brake, and just talk about certain topics and how those companies are addressing automation, how they're addressing more power with their lasers, how they're addressing software, how they're addressing labor shortage, and really more topical high-end or high-level discussions. And then we're going to break out from there into their individual rooms where you can actually, if you want to go listen about more from any of those suppliers, you have the choice to attend at least 3 out of the 5 presentations, as we have time allotted for people to present numerous different times and people to get from room to room. So it's a new format, same idea in terms of wanting to hear from those people. Hopefully we get people not only in the general session, but have the ability to break out and get some more information on items they hear from that general session.
Right, and that's always useful in the sense that the change of pace when it comes to fabricating technology is incredibly fast. We just had a story in the Fabricator where a fabricator went from a 10 kilowatt fiber laser cutting machine to 15 kilowatt fiber laser cutting machine only after 14 months of ownership. Traded in because they know that they have a competitive advantage and people come to them because they're able to get parts to them that much quicker, and they just want to keep that competitive edge. So having conversations to see what's available, and then, you know, with the speed comes questions about material handling, stream processes like bending. How are people keeping up with that? It's really ideal opportunity to have these conversations away from the hectic nature of your own shop and maybe even the trade show. So
yeah, it's definitely a smaller audience than you're going to see even at FabTech. Obviously, a lot of people go there to get those questions answered. This is a different pace of information. It's definitely a way to kind of be in a relaxed environment, not as competitive from a sales standpoint, although obviously our builders are all very competitive.
Right.
Everyone kind of comes together for the sake of the industry to educate and to really share information. And I think that's a really unique opportunity to participating in the annual meeting overall, but especially in the Fab Forum breakout sessions on day 2.
Yeah. So I think there'll also be a discussion, maybe a panel of metal fabricators still coming together for that afternoon. It's always good to hear from your peers to see how they might be working through their own supply chain issues. So day 3, we close it out.
Yeah, we close it out with government and your business. We're going to talk about what things are happening in the government that are affecting your business, which I'm sure will bring smiles to everyone's faces. But then we have a really nice women leading industry panel where we've put together a group of 4 or 5 individuals that are leaders in the fabricating industry, and we're excited to have them speak to our group about what their viewpoint on business is, how they're changing the industry, and their impact there. As we know, it's historically been a very male-dominated industry, and we're seeing that transition, and we're excited to have women leadership at our conference to talk to the audience about that and that dynamic.
Yeah, and I will say that the lead for that panel will be Lisa Wurzbacher, and she has real metal fabricating chops in the sense that she came in and helped get her family, her father's family-owned business, a tube fabricating facility, in shape so they could be sold and they could maximize their retirement. So she knows firsthand the trials and tribulations of being in metal fabricating. So I'm sure she'll be able to kind of steer the questions, steer the content to let people know that they know what they're talking about, and they can definitely learn from the discussion that's taking place on that panel.
And then, of course, last but not least, we have everyone's favorite economist, Dr. Chris Keel, to wrap up our conference. Chris has been with us for a long time, and we look forward to his colorful commentary and how it ties to the metal fab industry, what's going on in DC, what's going on in the economy, and of course, I'm sure we'll hear a couple jokes about his cats.
There you go. How many are there? 4?
I'm not sure.
Yes.
I don't want to know.
There you go. If you need more information on the FMA annual meeting, you can go to FMAMFG.org.
Yes. Register today. You still got a couple weeks left. We look forward to seeing you in Miami.
Do we have any questions from anybody that may be tuning in past the 3-second mark?
No questions, but just comments. Enjoy the videos in the magazine. You got like 20 people watching on LinkedIn.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for tuning in.
Hello, LinkedIn people. Nice to see you out there. Thanks for tuning in today.
And we hope to have giveaways sooner or later for these things. We're really pushing the people that lead this organization to invest in high quality, 100% cotton t-shirts.
But in light of that, what we're going to do today is we'll probably raffle off the sweater Dan's wearing. He'll autograph that after the show to one of you lucky followers. So just send a note over your LinkedIn and let us know if you're interested, and we'll get you that real soon.
That's all lies.
Tell us what they want to see.
What would you like to see on the t-shirt?
No.
What would you like? I mean, being fed directions off camera.
In future episodes.
In future discussions on this Fabricator Live platform, what would you like to see described? What would you like to? What people would you like to see interviewed? And maybe we can cater to this as this premise evolves. We want to brighten your fabricating day. All right, enough of that awkwardness. Thank you for tuning in. Please come down to the FMA annual meeting, and we'll see you there. Thanks.